Eminem, the boy who turned pain into power. If you've ever felt like life was unfair, then the story of Eminem might change the way you see struggle forever. Marshall Bruce Mathers III, known to the world as Eminem, was born on October 17, 1972, in St. Joseph. His childhood was anything but easy. His father left the family when he was just a baby, leaving his mother, Debbie, to raise him alone. They moved constantly from one neighborhood to another, never staying in one place for long. Money was always tight, and stability was something Marshall rarely experienced. Growing up, he often felt like he didn't belong. At school, he was bullied because he was small, quiet, and different. One beating was so severe that he suffered a serious head injury and spent days in the hospital. Instead of breaking him, those painful moments slowly built the determination that would later define his life. As a teenager, Marshall discovered hip-hop. The music gave him something he had never truly felt before, a voice. While many people saw rap as entertainment, he saw it as survival. He began writing rhymes in notebooks, spending countless hours practicing every word, every rhyme, and every flow. He dreamed of becoming one of the greatest rappers alive, even though almost nobody believed it was possible. There was another obstacle standing in his way. Hip-hop was largely dominated by black artists, and as a white rapper from Detroit, many people dismissed him before even hearing his music. Instead of giving up, Eminem worked harder than everyone around him. He entered local rap battles, where he earned respect by defeating opponents with his sharp lyrics and lightning-fast delivery. Life outside music was still difficult. He dropped out of high school after struggling academically. To support himself, he worked low-paying jobs, including cooking and washing dishes. Every paycheck barely covered rent and food. Yet every free minute was spent writing songs because he believed music was his only chance to escape poverty. During this time, his daughter, Haley Jade Mathers, was born. Becoming a father changed everything. He wanted to give her a better life than the one he had experienced. But providing for his family was incredibly difficult. There were days when he couldn't afford basic necessities. The pressure pushed him emotionally to the edge. In 1997, he released the Slim Shady EP. It caught the attention of legendary producer Dre. Many people doubted whether Dre should work with a white rapper, but Dre trusted Eminem's talent. That decision changed hip-hop forever. Together they released the Slim Shady LP in 1999. Almost overnight, Eminem became one of the biggest names in music. His unique storytelling, emotional honesty, and fearless lyrics captured millions of listeners. Songs like My Name Is introduced the world to an artist unlike anyone they had ever seen. Success brought fame, money, and awards, but it also brought enormous pressure. Every move he made became headline news. Critics attacked his lyrics, parents protested his music, and governments debated whether his songs were too controversial. Instead of hiding from criticism, Eminem used it as fuel for even more powerful music. Albums like the Marshall Mathers LP and The Eminem Show broke sales records. He became one of the best-selling artists in the world. Yet behind the success, he was quietly fighting battles nobody could see. His relationship with Kim Scott was filled with love, heartbreak, arguments, and reconciliation. Their marriage went through painful ups and downs, becoming one of the most emotional parts of his personal life. Many of his songs reflected these struggles, making listeners feel both the anger and heartbreak he experienced. As the years passed, Eminem became dependent on prescription drugs. What started as medication slowly turned into addiction. At one point, the addiction nearly cost him his life. In 2007, he suffered a drug overdose that doctors later said could easily have been fatal. It was one of the darkest moments he had ever faced. Recovering wasn't easy. He had to rebuild his health, his confidence, and his career almost from scratch. There were days when people questioned whether he would ever return to music. But giving up had never been part of his story. In 2009, he released Relapse, followed by Recovery. The title Recovery wasn't just about music, it reflected his life. Songs like Not Afraid inspired millions around the world because they showed that even after hitting rock bottom, it's possible to stand again. One of his most iconic songs, Lose Yourself, became a symbol of determination. The song won an Academy Awards for Best Original Song, making history and proving that hip-hop could reach every corner of the entertainment world. Over the years, Eminem continued releasing successful albums while mentoring younger artists. Despite remaining one of the biggest stars on earth, he stayed deeply connected to his daughter and often said that fatherhood gave his life purpose. His story reminds us that success doesn't erase pain. Behind every award was a childhood filled with fear. Behind every hit song were nights of self-doubt. Behind every standing ovation was someone who had once been told he would never succeed. Today, Eminem is recognized as one of the greatest rappers in history. His journey isn't simply about becoming famous. It's about refusing to let pain decide your future. He transformed rejection into confidence, poverty into opportunity, and heartbreak into unforgettable music. Whenever people hear his songs, they don't just hear clever rhymes, they hear the story of someone who refused to surrender, no matter how many times life knocked him down. The biggest lesson from Eminem's life is simple: your past may shape you, but it doesn't have to define you. Even the deepest scars can become the source of your greatest strength if you keep moving forward. Sometimes, the loudest applause comes from people who never saw the tears it took to reach the stage. And perhaps that's why Eminem's story continues to inspire millions around the world, not because his life was perfect, but because he proved that even broken beginnings can lead to extraordinary endings.